Last time on The Great Ace Attorney 2.
I believe you meant to say your old friend who made the cowardly decision to flee the country without a word to anyone.
Ah, I see that you're not afraid of physical violence. I commend your courage.
It's worth noting they're not to scale. If Jigoku was to scale, we'd just see like his buttons on his chest.
I've just seen for myself the obvious remnants of that incident in this cabin, so you had already purchased your return ticket to prevent anyone else taking this cabin and seeing the evidence.
I'm afraid we must insist that you disembark with us at once.
And how are you going to make me exactly?
Funny man. You have no jurisdiction over my movements.
We have this, Seishiro.
That's the face of a man about to kill him.
During the past 30 minutes, all possible efforts were expended. But sadly, Mr. Jigoku's whereabouts could not be ascertained.
The prosecution calls for an immediate verdict.
No, the trial cannot end now.
The court has already been presented with all the evidence and heard all relevant testimony.
Far from it. There's still a crucial witness from whom the court is yet to hear a single word of testimony.
In that case, call your witness to the stand at once, counsel.
Yes, my lord. Tomorrow.
We have returned, my dear fellows.
What news of Judge Jigoku?
We took him to Scottish Yard.
Did you put him in a prison with anything less than steel-reinforced walls? Well, no. Oh dear. Boom! Just a giant Jigoku-shaped hole in the cement wall. So, what was in the telegram you received back from Japan, then?
Record found as indicated. K. Asogi /A. Shin T. Gregson /J. Wilson.
Those 4 names. We've come across that exact same list before.
Oh, the sinister strings have returned.
Where did the sender of your telegram discover them, Mr. Sholmes?
I have here the message I had wired yesterday. Enter Judge Jigoku's office and investigate telegram records. List of 4 names. Need by tomorrow.
That tragedy we had to go through on the SS Burya was all for nothing. We were completely taken in by the lie you told us.
I took no pleasure in deceiving you. However, at the time, all that concerned me was preventing the young man's study tour from taking place.
It was all in aid of stopping Kazuma coming to Britain?
Why would you go to such lengths, Mr. Sholmes?
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Disillusion Plays The Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, where we play the games and do the voices.
Yeah.
I'm Cold Sarah.
Oh, no. You wouldn't know from the intro, though, to be honest.
Well, they'll probably know when it gets to the voice acting bit, because, yeah, everyone's going to sound a little rough today.
Kazuma's like,
I'm going to present some evidence.
and I'm Pete, by the way.
And I'm Taylor.
Nice. There we go. And if you do like what we do, please consider giving us a little like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell. And all that other good stuff.
Yeah. We've got plenty of other stuff to watch if you want to continue supporting us. Why don't you go watch some of our other stuff? I wish I could speak. I wish I could speak without...
I wish I could breathe.
I just like... It's like I stick a foot in my mouth when I try and say a sentence. It's like... And so when...
I didn't realise you were so flexible, darling.
Well...
You stick a foot in your mouth. That's quite impressive.
You know what I mean.
I do. I'm teasing.
So...
There was no room for doubt with your instructions in this telegram, Mr. Sholmes. You were very clear that it was Judge Jigoku's office that should be...
Oh, no.
Oh, no, Taylor's put his foot in his mouth.
that should be searched. So...
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Obviously knew that's where the list of names would be found.
Yes, of course, they've engaged the help of Hosonaga, wasn't it?
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, time to run out of breath with Susato. She's very difficult when I have a cold.
You can do it, Sarah.
Okay.
You can do it, Sarah. You can do it, Sarah. We believe in you.
Thank you. K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson.
But we only learnt of those 4 names just over 6 months ago now. And only because they appeared as part of the top-secret government communications that were leaked.
In court, that totally wasn't my fault.
That's true, yes. But at the time, you were unaware of the background. You see, those 4 names were wired to Japan. Around 6 months before that. Approximately this time last year, in fact, when you were both still in Japan.
What? Interesting.
It really would be hypocrisy on my part to reprove others for intercepting state secrets. Reprove? I guess I don't know.
I guess it's got to be a synonym for, like, reproach or something?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm not sure on that one. Because, after all, I'm perpetually eavesdropping on communications between the British and Japanese governments.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
You're perpetually doing what? How?
Well, you see, those little bunnies and mice. like,
yeah.
Never mind the details, but you should know. No secret is safe from Herlock Sholmes when he has designs on knowing it.
Oh my! Mr. Sholmes! What a fabulous line!
I know. If only I hadn't put my foot in my mouth while I was halfway through saying it.
Did you? I didn't notice.
Now, 1 month after that list of 4 names was wired to the recipient Jigoku in Japan, Dr. John H. Wilson was murdered.
I just want to say, if you listen, the background music is very cool.
Yeah.
It is cool.
As soon as I learned of the incident, a hypothesis rapidly took shape in my mind. As it turned out, I was partly correct and partly mistaken. Nevertheless, it was the beginning of all the tragic events that were to follow.
Mr. Sholmes, please, tell us all you know.
Yeah, a veritable info dump. Off we go then. The game is afoot. The info dump is afoot.
Tell us about these 4 names and the tragedy to which they're all somehow connected.
I'm going to have some explaining to do.
Yes, you do, Mr. Sholmes.
As I said, when I learned of Dr. Wilson's murder in Japan, my mind immediately turned to those 4 names. Because, you see, there was someone else on the list who I believe to be recently deceased.
Oh?
What?
A Shin, as it was transcribed in Japanese script. In actual fact, Miss Asa Shin. That was a familiar name to me. She was a professional killer, well known among London's unsavory classes.
Oh, I see.
But she had completely vanished from existence several months before Wilson's murder. So, I came to the logical conclusion that she had herself been killed. And accordingly, I became fearful.
Oh,
One day.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm trying to, read it fluently, and I'm just going... And accordingly, I became fearful for the lives of the remaining 2 persons on the list.
Oh, Kyosuke and T. Gregson.
The very same. Owing to our proximity, I decided to take measures to protect Gregson myself. But I determined it would be safest if young Asogi were to stay away from Britain.
Right, okay, yeah.
Ah, so that's why you went to such lengths to prevent his study tour from going ahead.
Exactly.
So, you already knew who Kazuma-sama was, Mr. Sholmes?
Are you serious?
Oh, yes. Sholmes and I exchanged correspondence for years. I'd recounted many tales about Asogi to him in my letters, and the news of Dr. Wilson's death, of course.
Oh no.
Oof.
So, Dr. Wilson is dead then? I didn't know.
I forgot that Iris is still in the room.
Iris!
I forgot she was still in the room.
Oh,
About
don't
that.
mind her. She'll be fine.
I'm 10, honey.
Oh, but you're the oldest 10-year-old I know.
Oh,
The most
she's-
mature 10-year-old I've ever seen.
I know he wasn't my daddy, but still, it's very sad. I'm so sorry, Iris. We know the significance of the name, obviously, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to tell you. No.
But what you just told us, Mr. Sholmes, doesn't completely tie in with the facts. There's one big hole in your hypothesis.
A big hole, Mr. Naruhodo.
That's what she said.
Oh, you.
Yes. You mean about Asashin, I presume.
Oh, of course.
Exactly. She wasn't killed, was she? She was in Japan posing as a visiting student under the assumed name of Giselle Brett.
I'm glad you're keeping up, my dear fellow. But I only became aware of that fact 2 days ago in the foyer of the
Oh.
Great Waterloo Hotel.
Wow, really out of the loop there.
Ah!
And upon hearing that startling revelation, the hypothesis that I'd formed surrounding these 4 names was completely turned topsy.
What? Topsy?
Topsy-turvy? Have you honestly never heard of the phrase? Have you, Ryunosuke, honestly?
How long have you been here?
You've
How
been
long
here
have you known me?
You've been here at least a month or 2, right? You must have
what
picked
do
up the
you-
lingo by now.
What do you mean when you say your hypothesis was turned topsy, Mr. Sholmes?
I had believed all 4 names on the list to be the names of victims. However, I was mistaken.
Oh God.
Very much so. Asashin was a killer.
Oh God. Do you think was Wilson a killer? Was he?
So, this telegram is a list of both victims and killers, is it?
Indeed. And it would seem that Miss Shin was dispatched from Britain with the sole intention of dispatching Miss Dr. Wilson. Her visiting student status being merely a front.
Ah!
Which would, of course, explain why no motive could be determined for her actions.
So the real reason Dr. Wilson was killed by Asashin is because he was the target of an assassination!
Oh, see, it's interesting, isn't it? Actually, the way that they keep saying the names. Where's the dialogue? Hang on, is it actually? Do we have it? Do we have it in the evidence? We do. Yes, so. So what I mean is they've got like the slash in there. I don't know if that's significant, but obviously, Asashin was to kill Wilson, and then we've got like Kayasogi above Gregson.
Unless Gregson.
If they're
Oh,
saying that,
did Gregson take?
what I'm saying is, are the top 2 the assassins, the bottom 2 the targets? They're saying it's a list of assassins and targets. I don't know, just a.
Well, I mean, in one sense, it does make some sense because if you figure that Kazuma's motivations here are primarily, or at least in part, based on revenge.
Yeah.
Revenge against Barak, and the only reason why the professor case got resolved was because of Gregson's push for the autopsy and everything. So if Kazuma has been living this kind of double life this entire time, maybe it was a chance for him to collect revenge on the person that was at least partially responsible for having his father executed.
So that he could collect his revenge points.
Revenge points.
Maybe.
My thought was the other way around. Of like, did Kazuma get put up to be like, well, asked to be an accomplice with Gregson, to then ultimately for Gregson to get rid of Kazuma because he's delving in a bit too deep. And did Jigoku? Actually, they said Jigoku was the target, but was it a double one? Was it to bug them both off? I mean, it was stupid trying to take on Jigoku, but
And I don't know, because I'm all head empty just reading the lines. So I don't know at the moment, if I'm honest. This is all a little bit, it's all a little bit over my head just at the moment.
yeah, it's just because it's debunked with the fact that we've already said that Jigoku was the target, but I don't know. Did Gregson see an advantage of getting rid of Kazuma as well? But then something happened and Gregson got caught in the crossfire with everything. But I don't know.
I don't know.
Probably not.
And forearmed with that knowledge, fresh consideration of this telegram puts the list in a very different perspective. Be interesting if he literally just says what I just pointed out.
Did we need to advance the text
That would be
again?
hilarious.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, does it not strike you there is another among the four who subsequently became a visiting student?
Wait. You mean...
But of course, a name you know only too well.
You mean... Kazuma!
Oh!
He did say in court earlier today.
Yes. On the 31st of October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission.
And the mission was?
The assassination of the Mark.
I suppose, I mean, when you put it like that, it's pretty damning.
Yeah.
I was on a mission. What was the mission? To assassinate a Mark. Ah! Yeah, pretty incriminating. Young Mr. Asogi accepted that mission a year ago now.
Surely not.
In conclusion, this document is a contract of sorts. An international agreement, one might say, detailing an assassin exchange.
Sounds like the name of an anime or something. Or it's the premise for an anime.
It's like a particular guild in the John Wick universe.
Oh, God.
Welcome to the Assassin Exchange.
I'm a teenage high school student, but I'm also an assassin, and now I'm in a foreign land. Question mark, exclamation point.
I didn't realize we were recounting the plot of Assassin's Creed.
An assassin exchange? How could Kazuma possibly have gotten involved in something like that?
Oh boy, this is getting interesting.
There's just more and more. The plot thickens. Let's assume that we have two parties, each wishing to dispose of a distinct individual. Yeah, I suppose, putting it like that. The top two are Japanese, aren't they? And the bottom two are English.
Well, and if you think about it, by doing it that way, you then remove the element of like motive and stuff. I forget the name of the movie, but that was like the premise. Is like, okay, well, if we kill each other's wives, it's the perfect crime because, we don't have any motivation to kill the other person's wife.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. Let's assume that we have two parties, each wishing to dispose of a distinct individual. Those two parties then make a contract to swap their respective assassination... Okay, Taylor, wow.
Yeah.
To swap their respective assassination targets. That would then be an assassin exchange.
So, to begin with, the British assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Japan, where she kills her target. And then the Japanese assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Britain in order to eliminate his target. certainly does sound like an exchange.
But what on earth is the point?
Don't forget, Naruhodo, that the British assassin at least escaped conviction. Thanks to diplomatic immunity afforded by consular jurisdiction.
So then they'd be shipped back to their respective countries, and then
Everything
whoever's
carries
involved
on
on
as
the
normal.
other end, nothing would happen,
Yep.
and no one would know.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Such jurisdiction should be null and void under the terms of the new treaty between our two countries. So, the fact that it was brought into play suggests intervention at the very highest levels.
The highest levels.
These murders were two sides of the same coin, linked not by a common motive, but by contractual agreement. As such, they appeared utterly unrelated, yet in truth, the assassins were complicit in one singular devilish scheme. That disassociation and the safeguard of diplomatic immunity were, I believe, the motivation behind this plot.
But wait a minute, Sholmes! If this telegram really is describing the exchange of assassins as you're suggesting, it would mean that the Japanese killer's target was never Seishiro Jigoku at all. It would mean Asogi's target was actually Inspector Gregson.
Oh boy.
What? Kazuma was here for Gregson! So Judge Jigoku wasn't actually the mark!
Yes, that's exactly what it would mean.
Oh boy. Jesus.
I hold myself personally responsible for failing to keep the inspector safe.
Mr. Sholmes.
I told him of my fears and implored him to seek a transfer to an overseas position. Obviously, with the young pickpocket in tow.
Yes, Gina. Come to think of it, Inspector Gregson did mention that to us at the Great Exhibition. That he'd be transferring to the Paris police and taking Gina with him.
But without informing me, he engaged in one last assignment, it seems. And sadly, it turned out to be his very last.
This is too much to take in.
It is quite a lot of information.
Yep.
Quite the info dump.
All right, everyone. That's quite enough of all that serious talk for one day. Isn't it, Hurley? I mean, look at the time!
Ah, quite right, Iris. We must conclude our preparations for tomorrow. I have a turkey leg I need to consume.
A pheasant.
Oh, sorry. I have a pheasant leg I need to consume.
What preparations?
Well, I think I shall make my way back to my hotel room for now. This has certainly been a night to remember.
It is a little bit sad, though. I mean, I liked the idea of you being my daddy,
Well, yes.
because then Susie would have been my big sister.
Aww.
Aww.
I'm sorry, Iris.
I know, Iris. I was thinking quite the same thing. Were you? But if somebody like me would be worthy, I would be delighted to become your sister. What? Really? Oh, yes, without question.
Aww.
So, you'll teach me all the ways you know how to throw Bruno on the floor? Oh, yes. It's quite simple, really.
And then in
You just
exchange,
grab him and yeet.
and in exchange, you just need to teach me all about science.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, she knows a lot from her book, so who knows?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. It would be my pleasure.
You didn't have to agree quite so readily!
But wait a minute. If Susie's going to be my big sister, you could be my big brother if you want, Ryuno.
Huh? I mean, yes, of course. If you'll have me, I'll gladly be your brother.
Well done, Iris. We must always be mindful of feelings. I've raised you so well.
Oh, Hurley.
Because being sensitive is your strong suit, naturally.
He's cute when he laughs.
Right. I'm going to work extra hard for tomorrow now,
Go on.
because it's for my big brother and sister.
Yeah. What is all this talk about preparing for tomorrow? Preparing what?
Oh, nothing. Just the assassination of Male Strongheart.
Do you see that big gun over there? I've been working on it for years.
I think I'll call it the bazooka. Yeah, the bazooka.
And look, I've even painted a little face of Strongheart on the front of it.
The last thing he'll see before he dies is his own face.
Yeah. Look at the monster you have become. You'll just have to wait and see.
Oh.
Oh. Good luck in court tomorrow. I'm expecting a sterling performance.
I'll do my very best, of course.
Yes, well, you'd better.
I'm counting on it.
So, the overnight break in the trial's proceedings became a crucial turning point. Exposing new truths whilst posing new conundrums. That list of 4 names on the telegram in Judge Jigoku's office. And the extraordinary assassination plot in which my best friend had somehow become involved. I felt as though I had been plunged into an even greater darkness all of a sudden. But at the same time, I felt sure I would see the light again soon.
Ah.
Because I was lucky enough to have
Friends.
the most wonderful family in the world, standing steadfastly behind me.
Cute.
I want that family.
It's
Aw.
I think we're probably going to save.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
probably.
think there might be a bit of rage if you don't. We lose all progress.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Be like, oh no, let's load a save again. Oh!
I think viewers and rest of Disillusion players alike would be very
The
frustrated.
viewers won't be frustrated because they wouldn't even know that it happened. If it happened, they wouldn't see it. It'd be the magic of editing.
Yes.
We'd know, though.
We
Right,
know.
no, editing Pete would be howling in his containment, having to play all the way through the game again.
Before we begin today, I have a brief announcement.
I'm a murderer.
As with the closed trial 10 years ago, some astonishing facts have come to light in these proceedings. The revelation that the well-known Reaper is actually an organization illegally executing its own brand of justice. And the discovery that a respected yard inspector was at its heart until he himself perished in an assassination plot.
Of course, I knew everything, naturally. I'm part of it.
Well, I say to all members of the judiciary here present on this occasion that we will stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings.
Where are my doves?
Counsels! You will undertake this trial with the resolve, he said the thing, to pursue the truth to the bitter end.
Oh boy.
Resolve. Yes, that's my game. That's my intention.
They said the thing.
Everyone's gonna say resolve now. Resolve. Blah, blah, blah.
My lord, if I may inquire, The defendant may speak.
Oh, goody.
On what grounds is Kazuma Asogi permitted to continue in his role as prosecutor? He has admitted to colluding with the victim in a plot to assassinate an innocent man.
Oh, if only you knew what I found out last night.
He shouldn't be enjoying the privilege of freedom, let alone be leading the prosecution.
I submitted a written petition to Lord Strongheart.
It said, "Soz, I didn't mean to do it.
It
lol.
wasn't my fault.
I didn't do it. They fell on me blade and that, innit? Soz, I'm very sorry."
Requesting the judgment of my transgressions be delayed by 1 day.
Oh, aye. Oh, sorry.
Alright, that's how it works, is it?
Should we rob a bank or something and be like, hang on, Gov,
Hang on.
If you could just delay the judgment by a day, I'd be very grateful.
You know, you could delay it permanently. I'll be greatly appreciated.
See, now it's making me think of the. Sorry, Taylor. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say again, we kind of approach the Donald Trump defense, where it's just like you just try to say, no, I don't want to be judged today.
Well,
Can you please judge me tomorrow or the day after or maybe never? Because it's a witch hunt.
The documents aren't classified because I thought about declassifying them, and therefore they are automatically declassified. Because by me thinking about it and not informing any other elected official, it is the truth.
Everyone's a mind reader in my party.
Because people can read my minds, apparently.
Yep.
It wasn't an assassination because I magically said it wasn't.
I made murder legal for a day, and then I killed them on that day, and so it's not murder because it was.
I mean, this line just sums up how crooked this court system is.
Just a bit.
How bent this court system is.
Just a bit. No, I was gonna say, it just reminded me of, I saw a video from Markiplier about rolling cheese down a hill. This guy steals cheese, runs and he's being chased by people, and then he rolls the cheese down a hill 100 yards away, and he's like, "You can't do anything to me now because what cheese? I don't have the cheese, and so you can't prosecute me."
Yeah,
whatever.
It was written in law that if the item was not on your person,
if it was 100 yards away,
at least over 100 yards away, then it was nope.
You couldn't be considered guilty of the crime. Yeah.
Oh, so it's Baldur's Gate 3 logic, where if I pickpocket somebody and give the stuff and then immediately go to camp, then it's no longer illegal because the goods aren't there. Then the merchant will only ever ask me once whether or not I stole the thing. And because the party member doesn't have the item, not guilty.
Isn't all fantasy just sort of based on reality of some kind, right? Is it not all sort of based on something that's happened in the past?
Some sick twist of reality.
Indeed. So, Sarah, my dear, would you mind just reading that one last time, please?
Okay. Requesting the judgment of my transgressions be delayed by 1 day.
You did what?
You heard me. In today's proceedings, I intend to expose everything. My goodness.
Keep your clothes on.
What's up, Van Zeeks? Are you jealous because my sword is bigger than yours?
I just don't want to have to reveal my biceps to everyone here.
Look at me, boy. I've got biceps too.
I don't want to embarrass you.
Oh, really? Is that a challenge? I've got 2 swords, remember?
It's not the quantity, boy. It's how you use them.
Just remember my scroll's bigger than yours.
Only because he stood there, though. Just because you're currently prosecuting.
Shut up. My whole life for the last 10 days has been leading up... Days? 10 days?
My whole life.
Wow, this happened really quick.
Kazuma's like, they got me out of my clone sleeve for this. The last 10 days have been hell. I've been remembering everything that happened in the last 10 years.
It's the Johnny Smiles thing, right? Where it's like, I've been doing this job for 6 months, so I'm an expert. My whole life, for the past 10 days, has been leading up to this. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, fudge.
It's okay, sir. It was funny.
My whole life for the last 10 years has been leading up to this one day.
I'm not sure why he emphasized years like that.
Shut up, you! You don't have permission to speak.
Kazuma.
Whatever the outcome of this trial, I give my word that I will accept whatever punishment is deemed appropriate, however severe. And I suggest you prepare yourself for the same, Reaper.
Kazuma is bristling with hostility today.
It's hot.
It's magnificent.
It's like...
I get the distinct impression we're heading into very dangerous territory. Territory? Territory.
Yeah, works.
Is that really even Kazuma-sama standing before us?
As an extreme exception to normal practices, I have granted this prosecutor's request. Because it serves my own interest.
My own agenda.
The defense finds this acceptable, I presume.
No, actually.
Well, I ain't got no choice, have I?
Yes, my lord.
Good. In that case, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the closed hearing of Baroque Van Zeeks.
Doves!
The defense is ready, my lord.
The prosecution is more than ready.
Excellent. Very well then. This preamble has taken long enough. Prosecutor Asogi, begin!
Fight! As you wish, my lord. The prosecution calls the first witness to the stand. Bring Seishiro Jigoku into the courtroom.
Wheel him in.
Wheel him in. All the bailiffs are just hanging off his arms at this point.
He's like on a trolley. He's like
Trolley.
they're gonna have to, like, as I say, just wheel him in because he's just so cute.
You're not gonna take me alive.
At last, then, we've reached the final battle.
Oh, I don't know. People have said that this case is as long as the rest of the game, so I don't know if
Well.
I mean, we'll see.
Oh god, I'm just imagining him like you say, he's on a trolley wheeling him in. He's like freaking Hannibal Lecter in the straight jacket,
Oh,
the
God.
cage,
The
strapped
mask.
to a board.
Mate, I mean, who knows? I don't think so. Somehow, it's a funny
He's
thought, though.
putting literally everything on the line now in order to get to the truth. Owie. Come on, Ryunosuke. It's time for that steely resolve, because this is going to test it to the limit.
Oh,
There he is.
witness. State your name and occupation for the court.
So it was you who issued this, was it?
Your subpoena? I did whatever was necessary.
Well, look what the young man has become. I didn't think I'd see the day when you'd take that tone with me, I must say.
See, like, and I'm just imagining he's not saying his name, and then, like, I just had this mental image of, like, flipping Strongheart leaping down like Sephiroth and
Oh Christ!
like,
I would air it. Oh Jesus!
like, name. It's like, oh,
And then,
Jesus
and then
Christ.
the list that then Genshin's will comes out of his bun like Aaron, like the materia.
Jesus.
And then it all opens up a new can of worms.
Also, I apologize, everybody, that mild spoilers for a game that came out many years ago.
Oh,
I'm
we're sorry.
I'm sorry.
We're sorry.
Although I suppose Rebirth's on the way, so who knows? Maybe it might be a sort of... The witness will ensure his responses are pertinent to the questions asked.
He didn't ask me any, fool.
He did ask for his name.
We didn't. Well, not that well, yeah.
My name is Seishiro Jigoku, a Supreme Court judge from the Empire of Japan.
16 years ago, this man came to London as a visiting student. Oh, sorry, did I say years? I mean days. 16 days ago? No. 6 years later, he returned to Japan. As well as presiding over the Supreme Court, he is also currently Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs.
I am, of course, fully aware of Mr. Jigoku and his preeminent roles. I invited him personally to the International Forensic Science Symposium as a representative of his country. I hear he also played a key role in the conclusion of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
God, they like long-winded titles, don't
Yes,
they?
they do. I'm just amazed I managed to say it all.
It was a great honor to be involved in the negotiations. I put my all into that treaty.
Judge Jigoku, I must ask.
Well, I never. Fancy the young murdering student turning up here of all places.
Could you not refer to me like that, please?
Ouch. You acquitted me yourself. And now I'm a practicing defense lawyer.
Yes, and full of self-importance like your friend across the courtroom, I see.
Oof.
Ouch. You came here to London by invitation to the International Forensic Science Symposium. But then, without informing anyone of your plans, you took flight to France.
Took flight? I'd have to object to that turn of phrase.
I merely swam.
He's like, I ran to France! The ocean couldn't stop me!
Then explain yourself! What exactly were the circumstances?
Well, I was somewhat expecting this. And I'm sorry to say, I decline to comment.
Oh.
Wow.
What? Leaving the country prematurely when I was an invited guest may be questionable etiquette. But my decision is unrelated to this case.
So the one thing we absolutely know is that his decision was related to this case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't be bound to testify.
Unrelated, you say? I like the sinister strings. Sorry.
I appreciate that a respected police inspector has been killed, for which I offer my condolences. However, being an alien, I'd obviously never met the man, nor do I know the first thing about him. As such, I'm in no position to testify. It's as simple as that.
So you would run from all this?
I beg your pardon?
This case is This case is more far-reaching than the murder of Inspector Gregson. It has ties to another murder. A case that was tried in Japan almost a year ago now.
A year ago in Japan? The murder of Dr. John H. Wilson, you mean?
That's right! And you, Judge Jigoku, are at the heart of both cases! The defense has evidence to prove it.
Well, Ryunosuke, I see from the look in your eyes.
That you're not bullshitting this time.
Oh, gavel! God, is it every time they say resolve, take a shot, guys? we're gonna be drunk here. That's your resolve to carry this through to the very end too. Let's see your evidence then. What proof do you have that Seishiro Jigoku is involved in this case?
Telegram from Japan.
It's got to be this, yeah. It's
Yeah.
by stealing into Judge Jigoku's office.
Yeah.
Is he going to then say, well, I've never seen that in my life, and if you've stolen that, you've committed an offence to get the document in the first place? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know.
Take that! This is a telegram detailing a communication sent between Britain and Japan approximately 1 year ago. I'm sorry, 1 day ago. The communication contained 4 names.
The funny thing is, it's about a year in real time, isn't it, for us? Like, because obviously when we actually did that case, it's like over a year at this point, so...
K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, and J. Wilson.
Hold it! Oh, you little...
Oh no!
Oh, no! Mr. Judge, sir, I don't want to cause offence, but if you could slam the water a little bit less harshly.
I'll slam your head, boy!
Yeah, very good, sir, yes. Where did you get that?
In Tokyo. From your office, Judge Jigoku.
What? How on earth did you...
What's this all about? Why is my name on that list?
This list of 4 names follows a certain pattern. T. Gregson and J. Wilson are the names of victims. K. Asogi and A. Shin are the names of assassins.
No!
A year ago in Tokyo, Dr. John H. Wilson's life was taken in a Western-style restaurant in the capital. The culprit was found to be a visiting student who went by the name of Giselle Brett. But her real name was Asa Shin, a professional killer sent out on a mission to kill from Great Britain.
Sorry, Taylor, I wasn't laughing at you. It's the assassin thing.
Yeah.
It's when it's a really serious thing, and it's like, her name was Shelley the Killer. You know what I mean? Like, it was her, the killer. That's her name.
The murderer's name was Lumberjack.
It's me, the killer.
A. Shin and her victim, J. Wilson.
Actually, I feel like I could see that being an Ace Attorney thing. Is it's like there's just a guy in the forest with an axe, and his name is Lumber, and his last name is Jack.
Well, or would it be like Jack Lumber?
It'd be Jack Lumber, wouldn't it?
Or Jack Lumber, yeah. And the murder that just took place here in London was the counterpart to that crime. An assassin sent from Japan, also a visiting student, Kazuma Asogi, whose victim was the British police inspector Tobias Gregson.
Just imagine, like, Van Zeek's on the stand, like,
Oh, we'll see. We don't know what's going to happen. Well, I'm interested to see what happens when the camera...
Pans across,
yes.
K. Asogi and T. Gregson. One assassin from each country to kill a target residing in the other.
What exactly is the defense suggesting?
I didn't think it was altogether that unclear. These 2 cases of murder, one that took place in Britain and one in Japan, were masterminded by a pair of individuals from each country as a form of assassin exchange. The telegram the defense has acquired is proof of this international contract to kill.
What? Ooh, that riled him up.
The telegram was found in your office, Judge Jigoku. In other words, the mastermind in Japan was you.
Sinister strings.
Judge Jigoku? What's this all about?
And you, Kazuma, you lied. During yesterday's proceedings, you acknowledged that you'd accepted the assassination mission. But the mark wasn't Judge Jigoku at all. It was T. Gregson, Detective Inspector of Scottish Yard. As shown by the name on the killing contract.
Very impressive, Ryunosuke. But actually, I didn't lie.
Nani?
The name of the target I was ordered to kill never passed my lips yesterday. The idea that Seishiro Jigoku was the mark came entirely from you.
Ah! You deliberately avoided saying a name.
The defense claims these 4 names indicate some sort of international assassin exchange. I'm sure I speak for all present when I say that the very idea seems utterly absurd. Doesn't it, everyone? Yes. Well, Mr. Jigoku, what do you have to say for yourself?
Oh, I would not like to meet him in a dark alley right now.
Right, into the shark tank with you. The shark pit. Like, beep.
What?
His silence only goes to prove his guilt.
Oh, Ryunosuke, that feels like you're pushing it a little too hard now.
Yeah.
There's another very important point that this new development brings to light. There's now a distinct possibility that the scene of Inspector Gregson's actual murder was the...
You can, you're doing very well.
Sorry. My nose is starting to get slowly filling up with snot.
Yummy.
Yummy.
Don't worry, Cold Sarah, you can do it.
Everything hurts, pal.
Oh.
was in the witness's cabin aboard the SS Grouse.
Judge Jigoku, you have to testify now. To refuse would be to put you in... I don't even know where I invented those other words from.
Hey, welcome to my
refuse
club.
would put you in contempt of court.
Maybe you thought of them a few days ago.
There's no need for quite such a vicious stare, young man.
Oh, well, the same could be said for you, sir.
Yeah, back at you.
Very well, then. As a parting gift to you all, I'll tell you everything I know.
And in doing so, I will use my secret technique of the vocal killer, where I proceed to say things and then you just all die from hearing my voice. Assassination complete.
I'm going to take this feather and I'm going to touch you with it, and then you're going to die.
It seems this Japanese gentleman has information that the court must hear about the alleged assassin exchange and the events of the night of the 31st of October. Present your formal testimony now.
As you wish, my lord.
Very weird seeing such a large lad as Jigoku doing the thing where he claps his hands to his sides and does the formal bow. He, like, shrank a bit. It was weird.
It's true that Kazuma Asogi was assigned the assassination mission 1 year ago now. The target was Inspector Gregson. That was a condition of the British study tour.
Wow.
Excuse me, I am here, you know.
However, in the end, something happened that meant the young man was unable to carry out his mission. On the evening in question, a member of the crew was on duty outside my cabin at all times. If there'd been a shot fired, the crewman would have heard it, so clearly I can't be involved. Pay no attention to money bulging out of pocket. This is unrelated to me hearing or not hearing thing.
So you admit it then, as this communication suggests. There really was an assassin exchange arrangement between Britain and Japan!
A political endeavor at the highest levels. Not something I can discuss here.
To use such a worthy practice as foreign study to coerce somebody to commit murder is the most appalling thing I've ever heard.
Appalling. Well, it's easy to judge.
I should know. I am one.
Pardon?
Asogi had a reason for taking his sword to that British inspector, you know. What? Which is why he accepted the mission in the first place. Isn't that right, Counsel?
No comment.
He files another petition to talk about that 2 days later.
Kazuma-sama?
Judge Jigoku, if you are the mastermind behind this operation in Japan, then tell the court the identity of your counterpart in Britain.
He's sitting right above me.
Just slowly follow my eyes, going up and up.
Follow my furtive glance.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, Sarah.
no, I was about to say Shobes just creeps in. Follow his furtive glance, my dear fellow.
I'm not obliged to divulge that information. I turned British midway through and I don't know why.
Divulge that information and that, isn't it?
I got no idea. I'm not a blur. I'm not a blur. I don't need to tell you.
As I said yesterday, I've killed nobody. I freely...
The sword that I stabbed through him, on the other hand, was a different matter. That killed him, but I did not.
That's...
I stabbed him, so that alone proves I didn't kill him.
As you are aware, Ryunosuke, Karuma, or Sticky, as you faithfully called him,
As you
is a
so
sentient being.
As you so affectionately labeled it.
Sticky did it, not me. I did not wield him. He did it of his own accord.
Once again, I did not kill her. I did not. It's bullshit. I did not kill her.
careful!
Oh, hi, Ryunosuke.
I freely admit that I accepted the mission, but on the night the plan was to be executed, I backed out. In short, this assassin exchange that the defense has identified is unrelated to the events of this case.
Somehow I doubt that. I'm gonna be honest.
The crucial point is this. Your police inspector can't have perished aboard that steamship in Dunkirk. Because if he'd been shot in the cabin, it's inconceivable that a member of the crew wouldn't have heard it.
It was like an alarm thing, wasn't there?
There's alarm bells outside.
No,
They bunged up
So there was a note
Yep.
that on the Burya there was the alarm that went off. And that,
there was an evacuation.
the thing was stuffed up. Remember the
the speaker.
horn in Judge Jigoku's room
Yeah.
was stuffed up with a towel.
It was, but also there was an evacuation notice that was put in the bin, which would give them an opportunity for nobody to be on board and to
a
carry out.
notice
some stuff.
about the drill will take at 10 p.m. It'll take 20 minutes.
Crew to
All
resume
crew
du-
members to
yeah.
assemble on the main deck.
So he would have had to. The guy outside would have to have left his post.
Yeah.
So
And then by plugging it up, that he kept anyone else from hearing the gunshot
kept-
through the sound system.
Yes.
or them
yes.
talking or anything.
All of it.
Yeah. That's right. Gregson was killed after returning to London, in the room on Fresno Street.
Now we just have to remember this that we've just divulged next week.
And
Because
the
I don't think we're going to have time.
No. And the perpetrator of the crime was the Reaper, Baroque van Zeeks. The prosecution's accusation remains unchanged.
To think that a seemingly innocent foreign exchange program was a facade for such Machiavellian dealings. Clearly, it's a plot only a government minister and high-ranking judge, such as the witness, could hope to execute. Could you please die more quietly? Clearly, it's a plot only a government minister and high-ranking judge, such as the witness, could hope to execute.
Well, I seem to recall that it was someone on the British side who controlled everything.
Be that as it may, no names shall be exchanged in this volley of wit. Defendant. Witness, sorry. It is not the place of this court to pursue this villainous assassin exchange
For
plot.
fear of exposing my good name.
For fear of accidentally putting my foot in it. We are concerned only with the tangible events pertaining to the murder of Inspector Gregson. Is the defense clear on that point, counsel?
But is he clear on that point?
I don't know, is he? Yes, my lord.
Yes, my lord. I'll keep that in mind as I cross-examine the witness.
Oh boy.
But will we cross-examine the witness?
Will we cross-examine the witness? Nope, because we're going to have to find out next time, I'm afraid.
The false end followed by the actual end.
I was like, well, we did start late by a minute, but yeah, okay, fair enough. That's probably a good place to leave it. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. If you do like what we do, please consider giving us a like, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and you'll be notified of our video uploads every Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And check out our other stuff as well in the meantime if you've got nothing to do in between.
Or if you have got something to do in
Yeah.
between. Like, whatever.
Whatever.
You could watch while you're doing stuff. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or not. Whatever.
You do
I don't
you.
care. You do what you want to do. And with that,
Yeah.
we'll catch you in the next one.
See you later, guys.
And remember, if somebody ever accuses you of being an assassin in court, or you confess to being an assassin in court, you can always file a petition to get the charges pushed back so that you can continue to serve as a legal representative in the meantime. Oh boy!